Spotting domestic violence victims. According to research, the number of cases has increased dramatically during the coronavirus. We can speculate on the reasons why, but the statistics are clear. Every minute, about 25 people become domestic violence victims. It can happen everywhere, and it can happen to anyone. Education, social and financial status don't make a difference. One may become a victim of abuse in a Brazilian slum or in a Beverly Hills mansion. Knowing the stats, you can safely assume that you know at least one person right this minute who either has been a victim of abuse or currently experiences it. Often, victims of domestic violence keep it secret. Some are ashamed. Others are too terrified of the abuser to seek help. But the influence of serious abuse in one's life is often too significant to stay unnoticed by others. Here are some red flags indicating that someone you know might be a victim of domestic violence. Physical signs. Physical trauma, including bruises, scratches, black eyes, and sprained wrists, are the most common signs of abuse. These injuries are often explained away by the victim as, "I fell down the stairs," or "I was clumsy." Frequent examples of these types of injuries are an indicator of abuse. Being ashamed of their situation, an abused victim usually will try to hide the signs of these injuries. So watch for inappropriate dress, like a long sleeve hoodie or a neck scarf on a hot summer day. This is probably not a fashion statement, but a sign that someone is trapped in an abusive relationship. Behavioral signs. Constant physical abuse will inevitably lead to deep emotional trauma. You will notice this in the victim's behavior. Feeling trapped with no hope of escape or rescue, victims of abuse may fall into different emotional states. Some will become depressed and apathetic. Others will show signs of anxiety and even panic attacks. If someone you know starts behaving out of character in these ways, especially with concurrent signs of physical injury, you should start paying close attention. Seeming fearful. Jumping from every loud sound or sudden movement might be signs of abuse. It is not unusual for an abused person to become afraid of loud noises, sudden movements, or raised voices, so be on the lookout for these signs. Low self-esteem or being extremely apologetic. Physical violence creates emotional issues which can manifest as reduced self-esteem or a need by the victim to apologize constantly, even when they've done nothing wrong. Substance abuse. It's not surprising that victims of abuse look for escape in drugs and alcohol. That, along with negative talk about life and any mention of suicide, are huge red flags that should be taken very seriously. It is important to remember that all of the symptoms mentioned above can also be signs of certain mental issues rather than abuse. So be sure that you have the facts straight before acting in a case of suspected domestic abuse. The chances that a victim will admit to being abused if you ask are very low. If you have some solid evidence, it is wise to seek professional advice on how to proceed to help your friend. Trying to deal with the issue yourself could do more harm than good, despite your best intentions. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe, and feel free to share it with your friends. If you want to be notified of all new videos, also hit the notification button. Thank you.